Hello friends, today we are going to continue chapter number 15 economic development, lecture number 6. Friends, in this chapter up to now we have discussed about understanding the meaning of economic development. We understood why this economic development is important for any country. Each and every country aims at economic development. But when it is considered as economic development is not only related to economy, the development in economy, but it considers the development in each and every field. Development in the society, that is the social development, politically development, each and every development is measured. We understood that there are three indicators through which this economic development can be measured. That is the national income of the country, per capita income, and the standard of living. Friends, we clearly understood about all these three indicators. After that, we also discussed about the difference between economic growth and economic development. We understood there are three major differences between economic growth and economic development. For a normal layman, these both the things are same. But if we look, there is three major difference. First difference, that is on the basis of development, in which we understood that there are three indicators. Out of that, if there is increase in per capita income or the national income only in any country, that is considered as quantitative aspect, as the per capita income and the national income can be measured, and that is considered as economic growth of the country. While on the other hand, when the per capita income, the living standard of the people is increased, and when this living standard of the people is increased, it is considered as qualitative aspect. Friends, here it is said that when the quality of the living standard is increased, it is considered as economic development. Because if in any country only the income is increased but the living standard is not increased, then the aim of the development is not achieved. We learned another major difference, that was on the basis of the change in economy. We understood how the production is increased by using the new researches, new technologies. We took the example of the farmer increasing his production through different researches, hybrid seeds, and that is called economic development. And if the farmer increases the production by more agricultural land, it is known as economic growth. We also learned the third major difference between economic growth and economic development was on the basis of developed and developing countries. That if the national income of the developed countries is increased, if the developed countries increase their national income, then it is called economic growth. But if the national income of any developing country is increased, it is considered as economic development. Friends, we clearly understood that actual goal of the country should be economic development, not economic growth. Why? Because as we all know that the country's aim is the overall development of the people. Though the national income or the per capita income is increased of any country, but if the people of that particular country are not getting the proper standard of life, the high standard of life, then that increment in the national income or per capita income is in vain. Ultimately, whenever the national income or per capita income is increased, we think that obviously the living standard of the people of that country will also increase. So friends, if the per capita income is increased, national income is increased, and along with it, if the living standard of the people is also increased, then the economic development is seen in that particular country. Here, the living standard includes all the facilities that any people should have in the country, like communication facility, transportation facility, health facility, education facility. All these facility, if it is provided properly in any country, then we can say that the living standard of that people is high. Friends, we understood from the previous lectures that we were learning about the features of developing economy. In that, we discussed about less per capita income, in which we discussed that if any country's per capita income is less, for any developing country, their per capita income is always less. Why? Because the population growth in that country is high, due to which the per capita income remains low, and that is why this becomes an important feature of any developing economy. Friends, second feature that we understood, that is about the population growth. We understood that in any developing country, the population growth is very high. It plays a very important role. The population growth is more than 2% or more. Friends, in the same way, we understood several features like unemployment. In the same country, in the same economy, if we talk, the ratio of unemployment is very high. More than 3% people are unemployed in the country. We discussed the unequal distribution of income as an important feature in any developing economy, in which 20% of the rich people contribute 40% of our national income, while on the other side, 20% of the poor people, they contribute only 10% of the national income of our country. So, these features, unequal distribution of income, is also clearly seen in the developing countries. We understood about the poverty as an important feature, in which we understood that poverty is also one of the important characteristics of any developing countries, in which it is seen that more than 1/3 of the population of any developing countries remains in the situation of poverty. Friends, we learned these all features. Today, the topic that we are going to cover is, again, we are going to continue these features of developing economy. We are continuing features of developing economy. Today, we will continue about insufficient infrastructure facility. Insufficient infrastructure facility. When we are learning about insufficient infrastructure facility, friends, as in the previous lecture, we learned about one important feature, that was dual economy, as an important feature of this developing country or developing economy. Friends, in that we clearly understood that the developing countries have the same way. In these countries, we can see the people using the old machineries. On one side, we see the same life in which the orthodox social system is prevailing. Old method of farming is used, old machineries are used, no production in villages are seen, the living standard remains low, while on the other side if we see at the cities, we can see new industries are developed, new technologies are used, proper we can see people are living sophisticated lifestyle. So these we understood about this dual economy present in any developing country. Now when we are talking about the another feature is that in any developing country we can clearly see the infrastructure facilities are not sufficient. Here it is said, developing countries do not have basic. Here we are talking about developing countries, they do not have basic and important infrastructure facilities. They do not have important infrastructure facilities like education, health, communication, transportation. Friends, here it is said these all are considered as the basic infrastructure facilities. Then we can say electricity, banking facility, banking, etc. Majority in the developing countries, here we see these all facilities lacking. There might be these facilities, but it will not be at the amount in which it is required. Developing countries do not have basic and important infrastructure facilities like education, health, communication, transportation, electricity, banking, etc. These are some of the infrastructure facilities that is required for any developed countries. Friends, here if you look at the economy of any developing countries, here these facilities are not available in the required amount as they are needed. Friends, here these facilities are not according to the population of that particular country. For example, if any city, if the population is more than 10 lakh or 15 lakh, in that city we need same amount of banks over there so that they can cover this population. We need such amount of electricity at that place. Transportation should be there so that these all people can avail this facility. Yes, these all facilities are available in that city, but they are not in the sufficient amount that it should be. There is always we can see there is always a shortage of these facilities in this developing economy. So we can say that insufficient infrastructure facilities are clearly seen. Lack of these infrastructure facility when we see lack of this infrastructure facility obstructs the development of nations. Here it is said, when this lacking is seen in this infrastructure facility, obviously that is going to obstruct the development of that particular nation. If any nation wants to develop, they require proper infrastructure facilities. So friends, you might have understood about this feature, that is insufficient infrastructure facility, which again plays an important role in any developing economy. Friends, let us understand the ninth and the last feature of developing economy, that is the form of international trade. Let us understand the form of international trade. Here, friends, if we talk about this international trade, friends, you might be aware about the word trade. Trade, that means doing any kind of export or import with any other country, any foreign country, that is considered as international trade. Here it is said, developing countries mainly exports agriculture products. Here it is said that developing countries, they mainly exports agriculture products, farm products, and mineral ores. Friends, here it is said that if you look at the international trading of this developing economy, it is said that developing countries, they mainly export the agriculture products, that is agro products we can say, they mainly export, right? When they are exporting, obviously the income, the foreign currency, the foreign income comes in the country. Here, what the country exports, here it is said, the country mainly exports agriculture products, farm products, and the mineral ores. As we learned in the previous lecture, that when we are discussing about this, we learned in the previous lecture that these developing countries, the main feature of this developing country is that they depend on agriculture. The main occupation of that country is agriculture, and that is why they export agricultural products, farm products, and mineral ores. So these are the main things that they export. Here detailed. These type of products fetch low prices. Here it is said that these type of products, they fetch low prices. These fetch low prices means they get low prices for that, and we can say, and also have less demand, and also have less demand. These type of products means agro products, farm products, and minerals. These type of products, they fetch very low prices, means they get very low prices for that, and they are also very much less in demand. So as a result, these developing countries are unable to earn good foreign exchange. Friends, here it is said, due to this result, as these agro products, these products fetch very low price and they are less in demand. As we learned, the very basic rule of economics, the more the demand, the more the price of that any product. If you talk about any product, if that product has very important requirement is there in the market, then obviously the price of that will be always high. So here it is said, as a result, these developing countries, are unable to earn good foreign exchange. They are not getting proper amount of foreign exchange as it is less in demand. Since these developing countries are at development stage. Here it is said that these developing countries are at the development stage. They need advanced machineries. These developing countries, they are at developing stage, so they need advanced machineries, and we can say processes that boosts their economy. Friends, here it is said that when we are talking about all these things, these developing countries are at developing stage. They need advanced machineries, means proper machineries and processes that can boost up their economy, that can build up their economy. Friends, here it is said, hence these developing countries, now when we are talking where they require, they are trying to boost their economy. Here it is said that hence these developing countries, they import advanced machineries, technological services. Hence, these developing countries, they import advanced machineries, technological services, and such products at a very high price. They import these, as we learned in the previous point, that each and every country, they are trying to boost their economy, and for boosting their economy, they import from the other countries advanced machineries, technology products are imported from the other countries at a very high price. They do this for a very high price. They import from other countries. These increase the expense. These increase, we can say that these things increase the expense of any country, and due to this reason, when we are talking about this developing country, when they are importing this advanced machinery, technological service, this increase the expense on import. This expense is increased as the export is low and the import is more over here. So many times to settle these expenses, here it is said that many times to settle these expenses, the countries may also have to take loans, and to settle these expenses, friends, here it is said these countries have to take loans from developed countries we can say. Here friends, it is clearly said, as we learned, that these developing countries, they mainly export agro products and minerals, farm products, which have very less demand and very less amount they get from this, and due to that reason, and when they import such advanced machineries, technological services and other products at very high price, the balance between import and export is not maintained, due to which, to settle up this expense, they have to take loan from these developed countries. They have to take loans. Here it is said, more and costly import and less, more and costly import and less and cheap export. As we learn friends, more and costly import is there and less and cheap export is there. Increases the foreign debt of these developing countries. Friends, now here we can clearly understand that this, when we are talking about this international trade, it is clearly understood that these developing countries, they mainly export just the agro products, farm products, mineral ores, which are very cheap and in less demand, due to which they have to import to boost their economy. They have to import the advanced technology, the facilities, for which they have to pay a very high price to the other countries. And to settle up the balance between import and export, they have to take loans from these developing countries. Due to which reason, sometimes it is said that, here it is said, more and costly import is there, less and cheap export is there. And due to this reason, the foreign debt of the developing country is increased. So friends, here we can see these 9 features in any developing economy. Friends, this question is very important on the basis of your board exam. All these 9 features are very important. Hope so friends, you might have understood all the 9 features of this developing economy. Thank you.